retrofloralpodcast. I'm Brenda.
And I'm Charmy, and we're just two crazy sisters with an opinion and a channel.
If you like true crime, conspiracies, and supernatural crap, then this is your channel. Welcome or welcome back. Well, you guys, today is a true crime. A very weird true crime, though, because, there's a lot of theories on what people think happened, but it's just a very strange crime, strange murder. Or as they like to quote unquote say, accident. But once I get into this case, I'll let you decide if you think this was an accident or a murder.
Let me guess. The police say it's an accident.
Yeah, well, shocker, right?
I know, right? Without further ado, let's get into this.
Gareth Williams was born September 26, 1978, in Valley, Anglesey, Wales, to parents Ellen and Ian. He had one sister named Carrie. The family were extremely close, and Gareth was described as an amazing older brother. He loved computers and math at an early age. And side note, it was said that he was obsessed with computers.
Wait, this is 70. Oh, no, this is older. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, still, in the 80s and the 90s. I know, there was...
I think more 90s.
There was computers and, games on there, so they probably obsessed with that. But also that you could, go to the library and you go on computers and stuff like that. So even if it wasn't common in your house to have one, they still had them in the libraries. I don't know about the 80s. I can tell you, the 90s, yeah. 80s, I don't know. His teacher said he would be on the computer for hours. He was considered a genius at a young age. And I don't know why when I think about him, I think about Sheldon.
Oh, yeah.
Except for he's probably not as annoying as Sheldon is.
Yeah.
He completed the GCSE in math, which in England, it's the General Certificate of Secondary Education. So I'm going to read to you what that is.
Yeah, it's I don't know what any of that is.
So the GCSE is basically tests that they take, and they're highly valued in schools and colleges and employers. So the higher you get, the more likely you are to be able to get certain jobs and get into certain schools and stuff like that. So it's kind of a placement test. Although they said if you want to compare to something of the United States, it would be similar to getting a GED. So I'm assuming basically this is what I'm assuming. I'm assuming because he completed it in math that he had got to skip a whole bunch of math classes because he passed.
So taking an AP.
It's maybe taking a placement test.
Advanced placement test. That's what AP stands for.
Oh my god. Okay, yes, but when you take AP French and stuff like that, it's just you are advanced placement. You've been placed into an advanced class, basically. This, you're taking a test and it's okay, well, now we see what level you are in math, so we're gonna put you in that class.
Oh, okay.
Because of that, at the age of 10, he was in high school.
Dang.
Yeah, that's why I said he reminds me a lot of Sheldon.
But only for math or just in general?
In general. So he placed really high up in math. I just wanted to make that clear that he placed really high up in math. But
okay.
He was able to be in high school at 10 years old. So he went to high school at age of 10 and he received all A's. Because he was so smart, he was alienated from his peers throughout his childhood and probably didn't really get to develop relationships because he was
10 years old in
high school. Yeah, you know what I mean?
It's kind of hard.
Yeah. At 17, he completed a part-time math degree at Bangor University, and at 18, he began his PhD at Manchester University. Gareth did his dissertation on computer games. He loved playing video games and was highly skilled at them. At Manchester University, he was approached with a job opportunity from the government's communication headquarters, aka the GCHQ, which is one of the 3 UK intelligence and security agencies. The other two are MI5 and MI6.
I know MI6 from Killing Eve.
Oh. The GCHQ deals with anything and everything related to communication. The job required him to analyze emails, texts, phone calls, cyber defense, and protecting classified government information.
I have a feeling the government killed him.
I know, based off of this, yeah.
Yeah.
So he was privy to some pretty confidential government information. At a young age, too, I might add. They wanted him to be a code breaker. His work included handling sensitive information that could have been related to the state enemies. At 22, he moved to Presbury, okay, y'all, bear with me, Gloucestershire. And let me spell this for you. Gloucestershire.
I only got the Shire part because I just know that's how they pronounce it.
So Gloucestershire. That's what that says. I know, I saw that word and I was like, Google, can you come help a girl out? And rented a room for nearly a decade. So he rented a room there for nearly a decade. He has been there for a decade. But he was always away from work, so that room was often vacant. He had started his work in 2000, which is crazy to think. And when the United States invaded Iraq in 2003, a lot of the GCHQ focused on terror threats globally. Gareth and his team was believed to help stop the liquid bomb plot. So I'm going to read to you what that was. So the liquid bomb plot, or the 2006 transatlantic aircraft plot, happened clearly in 2006.
Yeah.
And was a terrorist plot to detonate liquid explosives carried aboard airliners traveling from the UK to the United States and Canada disguised as soft drinks. Yeah, so I guess that was gonna happen, and his group and team played a part in stopping the operation from happening. So as you can see, he's really deep into like secret information.
I just feel bad. I feel like he doesn't have a personal life.
Well, he played video games. I feel like too.
Like,
I feel like
outside of work.
Yeah, I feel like when you live that kind of life, it's really difficult too, because you have to be very careful of what you say to people.
Yeah, and also like you don't want them to also be a target.
Yeah, that's true. After that, Gareth then began working for MI6, which pretty much he was doing the same thing, dealing with top secret.
He was hunting down assassins like in Killing Eve.
Probably. He still was dealing with top secret stuff, but now he's doing more field work than he was before. Yeah.
I'd rather be behind a desk.
During his time at MI6, Gareth told his sister he wasn't happy there and that he was going to go back to the GCHQ to work on a joint operation with the United States NSA, which, if you don't know what NSA is the National Security Agency. But before he could return, he mysteriously disappeared.
He knew too much.
Girl. On the 15th of August in 2010 at 2 p.m., Gareth was seen on CCTV footage at a cash machine, or ATM. He was seen again at 2:30 p.m. walking down Crescent Bridge, and that was the last time he was seen alive. And that was the 15th. On the 23rd, shout out to my brother.
It's his birthday.
Yeah, his birthday's on the 23rd. On the 23rd, Carrie, who is Gareth's sister, called the GCHQ to let them know that she hadn't heard from her brother and was getting worried. The GHCQ also told her that he had not been at work. So I don't know about that information, but I just think that's weird. Like, if he has not been at work, you guys, for quite some time, because he went missing on the 15th. It's 23rd. Y'all didn't think to report him missing?
But then he joined, I guess, yeah. That is weird. Because if he was like, I'm planning on, then it wouldn't have said he hasn't been here.
Right.
Because then they would be like, oh, he was going to be here?
Right.
And
like, so they ended up reporting him missing to the police that day. Which I don't know why it took his sister calling for that to be, but because mostly, like, I don't know, I've listened to other true crimes, and when like people don't show up to their jobs for like 2 or 3 days, they end up calling like your emergency contact to figure out like where you are. And they didn't even bother calling any of his family, because she ended up calling them to figure out like what's going on, is he going to work and stuff like that. That same day, they sent a police officer to Garrett's home for a welfare check.
And that was only for elderly.
No, you can do that for anybody. Like, if you haven't heard from them in a couple of days, you can send it for anybody.
Ah.
When no one answered, they were let in by a letting agency. A letting agent. And for us in the United States, we call them landlords. But you know what? I actually like calling them letting agency, because, like, I don't like referring to you as the lord of the land.
But he is.
I know, but a letting agency agent is someone who's letting you stay on their property.
I don't know. I feel like landlord sounds more posh, and I like it.
Landlord sounds like I'm the lord and y'all are my peasants, and I don't like that. So that's why I don't like that word.
Because it's right.
No, I'm not no peasant. You got me messed up.
It's not landlord peasants. It's just landlord.
Yeah, I'm not calling you Lord. You're not my Lord. My Lord is Jesus Christ.
It's so picky.
I feel some type of way about that. The place seemed to look tidy. His laptops, 2 phones, and a bunch of SIM cards were on the table in his living room. It was extremely hot when they entered his apartment because the heat was turned all the way up. So I'm not really sure why the heat was turned all the way up. It's August. I'm not sure what the weather is like over in England in August.
I'm pretty sure it's hot.
but I don't think that the heat should be turned all the way up. They checked the place and found in the bathtub of the main suite a North Face duffel bag locked with a padlock from the outside that was leaking red fluid. They opened the bag and inside was the naked, decomposing body of Gareth and the key for the outside padlock. There was no signs of a struggle in his apartment, so the police started an investigation. They blocked off his apartment and had round-the-clock security outside to protect it. Gareth's parents were notified and they hopped on a plane and flew back to the UK from the United States. Well, we could talk about some of the stuff that was found, like the heat was turned all the way up.
To make his body decompose faster.
There's a padlock on the outside of the duffel bag, like I'm assuming between the zippers, so like it was difficult to get out. How like that happened, him being placed in a tub in a duffel bag.
Well, I'm pretty sure. Oh my god, what the? I'm so sorry, my alarm went off.
It's all good. But I don't know, it's just weird. That's what they find in his apartment.
They also, they wanted his body to decompose so they couldn't, get any DNA off of him.
I think, and honestly, it's even with that, the heat being turned up, it would probably be difficult to, precisely get time of death. His family really didn't know what he did for work. But when articles came out saying British spy murdered, they began to question what he actually did. The coroner did an autopsy on Gareth, and it was reported that there were no injuries on his body and no signs of a struggle.
He could have been drugged.
And this part's weird. There was DNA found in his apartment that belonged to 10 to 15 other people.
They didn't do a really good job of cleaning.
No, that's... yeah, I guess you're right. They didn't do...
You turned the heat up and you didn't clean nothing down. You probably didn't kill him there, but you did go inside his apartment.
Yeah, 10 to 15 other people is wild because we all know that Gareth, he didn't stay in his apartment. Yeah, he didn't stay in his apartment for a lot, so that is kind of weird. Investigators could not identify who the DNA belonged to. At first, there was no DNA found on the duffel bag or the bathtub, not even Gareth's.
So they cleaned that really well.
Yeah. So if there's no DNA in his own bathroom, someone clearly cleaned the bathroom up after he was placed in that suitcase.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure they killed him somewhere else and then dragged him to his apartment.
They later on did find DNA on the handle and the zipper on the bag.
Okay, y'all need to be more
diligent.
Because how is this clean? But not how they keep finding stuff?
Yeah, I don't know. But the DNA on the that they found on the handle and the zipper of the bag was not Gareth. If he were to quote unquote put himself in the bag,
if they say that, I'm gonna punch everybody who said that.
Well,
ain't
Charmy,
no way.
you're about to be upset.
Oh my god.
The front door was also locked from the outside. There was evidence that the data on his phone was backed up onto a laptop at 11:30 p.m. August 15th. There is a chance that Gareth was already dead when this happened. So because they can't necessarily say
the time of death
accurately what the time of death is, they think that he probably was dead by then. There was no alcohol or drugs found in his system. His cause of death was ruled as undetermined because of the state of decomp. So he could have been drugged, but because of the state of decomposition and them turning that heat up, it could have dissipated any evidence of drugs or alcohol being in his system. So whoever did this, they knew what they were doing. There was also no signs that he tried to get out of the duffel bag, which indicates that he was probably already dead when he was placed inside the bag. It was determined he likely died in the early hours of August 15th, which is crazy because August 16th, sorry, which is crazy because they said that they think he was dead on August the 15th when the information was backed up onto a laptop.
Did they say that they thought he was dead already?
Yeah, they think so. Right now they are he could have died August 16th.
Early hours because he was walking outside at 1 p.m. wasn't he? Oh no, that was
the 15th. That was the 15th. Yeah. But even if, well, here's the thing. They said that they think that he was probably dead the 15th. But even if he wasn't dead the 15th, even if he died early hours of the 16th, which could still kind of be the 15th, late hours of the 15th. So I can kind of see their window, the time window,
24-hour time window.
Yeah, they're saying he could have died late August 15th or early August 16th. I'm thinking that's what they're trying to say.
Okay.
The police ruled his death as suspicious and unexplained. So they did several
Well, can't they just say it's murder? I don't know. I know you can't explain the details, but you can clearly say he's murdered.
Yeah, I agree with you. Several recreations, and by several I mean 400 attempts, were done to see if it was possible for Gareth to get himself inside the duffel bag and lock it from the outside.
No.
And it was proven that it was, but it would have been extremely difficult and unlikely.
Yeah, like it would have been like marks on his body, and they said that he didn't fight.
Yeah, there was like no defense wounds or any type of injuries to his body.
And he had to be very, very flexible.
But even if he could do it, why would he? And why did he not try to get out? Because there was no signs or struggle, like no signs of struggle of him trying to even get out of the bag. So it's kind of like.
And also, why turn the heat up?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that don't make sense. And this is a side note. I don't know if this is important to this case. In my opinion, it's not. But there was 25,000 pounds or $32,000 worth of women's high-end clothes in his wardrobe and 26 pairs of shoes.
What?
Yeah. First of all, I don't even have $32,000 worth of clothes, but Garrett was not dating anyone at the time. And according to a woman that he rented a room from, she and her husband had to rescue him in 2007. When they heard him screaming from his room, they went in his room and they found him tied to his bedpost. He told them he was trying to see if he could get out of it.
How would you tie yourself up?
I don't know, but they didn't believe it and they thought it was more of a sexual thing. Investigators also discovered that before his death, he visited several bondage websites. So I don't know, like with that information, like what to do with that.
I'm guessing they're trying to say because his sexual like preferences that he was trying to kill himself, but I don't think that's what it's not really conveying that.
Yeah.
It still looks like murder.
The investigation was moving slow because there was a lot of pushback from the Secret Service agency trying to suppress a lot of information. So they weren't giving a lot of information up because they didn't want to like compromise national security or whatever. Later on, the Secret Service took over the case and they started working with the FBI, which was already doing their own investigation. In the end, the Metropolitan Police ruled Garrett's death as, drumroll please, an accident.
That is so stupid. That's just like,
yeah, I agree. Like there is way too much evidence for you to sit here and say that he accidentally did this himself.
He accidentally turned up the heat and got inside the bag, folded himself up, able to zip it, put a lock on it while he's still inside of it. But also he locked the door from the outside. That makes no sense.
Yeah, not to mention that he cleaned all the DNA
off the bag he was in.
And the 10 to 15 people that were in his house, he told them to leave. So, yeah, that's their investigation. And a side note, because like I said, I feel like this isn't really important to the case, but there was rumors that he was gay and that he liked to dress up like a woman.
Yeah, I feel like they're trying to add that to like.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. They're probably just like, well, he was doing this, so this is probably why he's in this situation. But no, I don't think that correlates. And there was also rumors that he was going to gay nightclubs. The FBI even speculated that he was gay, but his family doesn't think that this is true. They believe that he wouldn't have hid that from them. And I could see where people like get that mindset, like they would have told me, but in reality we don't know if he would have
taken it well.
Yeah, so we don't really know if he would have told them or not. But I just feel like that had nothing to do with what happened to him. If anything, what happened to him seems to correlate more with his job than his personal life. And that is the case. Like I said, there's theories that the government had something to do with it, which I'm pretty sure the government did. But there's theories that like he was messing with somebody and this was the result because that person was with somebody else. I don't know. There's a theory that like the crime had to do with his sexual orientation. Like I said, still don't think that correlates to any of this, but in the end they ruled it as an accident, and we know that this is not no accident. He didn't accidentally get inside that duffel bag and lock himself in there. And we know that it can't be an accident because like they did this 400 times to be able to get in there, and even when they did, they said it was very unlikely that he did it and it was very difficult. So
I just feel like if the government, if you're the government and you're gonna kill somebody, just make them disappear. Don't have them in their room like this. Like just make them disappear. Let it be unsolved. That's like the way I would go if I was like a corrupt government.
Yeah, I mean I get like them trying to show like send a message, like if you mess with this is what happens, but like still mysteriously disappearing is also a message in my opinion. So
I feel like y'all be like, oh, it was an accident, when clearly the circumstances this person is in does not scream accident.
Right.
All that makes you look more bad.
All that evidence.
Just make them disappear.
You could have ran away. They could have made him look like he ran away. But yeah, that is the case of Gareth Williams. You guys can form your own opinions. I think I know where your opinions are gonna go, but They said it was an accident. They ruled it as an accident.
It's so funny because I always thought like the U.S. government doing this. I never think about other governments doing this.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think about it? United States came from England, so I'm just saying, birds of a feather. Just kidding. I don't know. Well, I don't know. We kind of are low-key like birds of a feather flocking together, but yeah, this case is definitely infuriating because we all know what happened, and
we don't know exactly.
Well, we don't know exactly what happened, but we know that he didn't put himself in that bag.
Yeah.
Well, you've made it to the end.
You must like the sounds of our high-pitched voices and quirky commentary.
You might as well like and subscribe to our channel and hit that bell to be notified every time we drop new content. If you want to follow our social medias, they will be linked in the description box below.
Bye.
Bye, you guys. Don't work for no government agencies.